Crypto entrepreneurs in 2025 still struggle with one fundamental question: where should I incorporate my startup? Meanwhile, lawyers and consultants capitalize on this uncertainty, charging hefty fees for advice that often lacks real-world pragmatism. To cut through the noise, here's a no-nonsense guide to the best jurisdictions for crypto startups, token issuers, and DAOs in 2025. Each jurisdiction has unique benefits and risks, so choose wisely based on your specific business model. The British Virgin Islands remains the leading jurisdiction for crypto token issuance. The main reasons? No corporate income tax. BVI does not impose direct taxes on offshore companies. Strong legal framework. It has well-established corporate laws that offer flexibility. Confidentiality. No public register of directors and shareholders. Regulatory neutrality. Unlike the US or EU, BVI has no strict securities laws applied to token sales. This makes BVI a go-to for token issuers, fundraising entities, and companies looking for regulatory simplicity. However, it is not ideal for businesses needing banking services, as financial institutions often scrutinize BVI entities. For crypto projects looking to structure DAOs or establish legally sound foundations, the Cayman Islands remains a top choice. Here's why. Foundation companies. These legal structures allow DAOs to have an entity without shareholders, making them attractive for governance purposes. No direct taxation. Similar to the BVI, the Cayman Islands has no corporate or capital gains tax. Favorable regulatory environment. While regulations exist, they are much more accommodating than in the US or EU. That said, the Cayman Islands primarily cater to large projects with significant legal budgets. Smaller crypto startups may find the costs of incorporation and compliance high. Panama continues to be a frontier for crypto startups due to its near-zero regulation and low-cost business environment. Key advantages include no crypto-specific regulations. Unlike many jurisdictions tightening their rules, Panama remains lax. Tax advantages. Territorial taxation means income earned outside Panama is not taxed. Private foundations. Similar to the Cayman Islands, Panama offers flexible foundation structures used by DAOs. Projects like Polymarket have leveraged Panama's regulatory void to operate with minimal interference. However, the lack of regulatory clarity can be a double-edged sword. What works today may change with future government intervention. For years, the U.S. was an absolute no-go for token issuers due to aggressive SEC enforcement. However, things are changing. Wyoming's DAO, LLCs, and DUNAs. Wyoming has pioneered legal entities specifically designed for DAOs. More DevCos and LabsCos based in the U.S. Many blockchain development companies are still incorporated in the U.S., provided they do not engage in regulated activities, e.g., issuing tokens or financial services. Regulatory shift. While the U.S. remains cautious, courts and regulators have started clarifying token classifications, offering more certainty. If your startup focuses on blockchain infrastructure, e.g., data analytics, smart contract development, security tools, the U.S. is still viable. But if your project involves token issuance, custody, or DeFi, look elsewhere. The EU is not known for being crypto-friendly, but for projects requiring a MiCA, Markets in Crypto Assets, license, it is necessary. Within the EU, Ireland stands out as the best option, MiCA compliance. The EU's comprehensive regulatory framework requires licensing for many crypto activities. Ireland as a hub. Many crypto blue-chip firms, including large exchanges, have chosen Ireland for their European base. EU passporting. Once licensed in Ireland, you can operate across the EU. The downside? Compliance is expensive and regulation is strict. If you don't need an EU presence, it's best to stay offshore. Singapore was once a crypto paradise, but regulatory tightening has made it a less attractive option. Instead, many companies now prefer Hong Kong. Singapore, overregulated and less attractive MAS, Monetary Authority of Singapore, imposes heavy restrictions. Licensing is complex, making compliance costly and time-consuming. Hong Kong, the new Asian crypto hub. More accommodating regulatory stance compared to Singapore. Strategic location and strong financial infrastructure. Government efforts to position Hong Kong as a Web3 leader. For startups targeting Asian markets, Hong Kong is the better choice in 2025. There is no single best jurisdiction. Each has its own advantages and trade-offs depending on your startup's goals. For token issuance, BVI remains the best. For DAOs and foundations, Cayman Islands or Panama. For blockchain dev startups, US, Wyoming is viable. For EU-regulated projects, Ireland is the go-to choice. For Asian markets, Hong Kong is superior to Singapore. For tax-friendly personal residency, UAE is still attractive. Founders should assess their specific needs, regulatory exposure, tax efficiency, operational ease, before choosing a jurisdiction. With increased scrutiny worldwide, setting up a crypto business in 2025 requires careful legal structuring, not just offshore incorporation. If you're still unsure, consult a legal expert. Just don't let them overcharge you for vague advice.